Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Tangent Talk. Before we begin this episode, I actually want to explain a few things. Firstly, I'm your host, Peter, for every episode, hopefully. And Tangent Talk is basically a podcast where I just kind of just have conversations with people I know around college. I think college is a very interesting transitional period where people start to flesh out their interests and actually discover who their identity is. Secondly, this episode is my first. I actually had a previous podcast, I guess, sort of thing that I was fleshing out, and it was done in a different environment with a better recording system, but the equipment they gave me was not good. So I'm using my own equipment now in my dorm room. So we had a few technical difficulties with people outside being a little loud. In fact, towards the end, they had interrupted so many times that I was just petty enough where I'm like, I'm just going to keep this one in, but a lot of it is edited out, luckily. And the last thing is my guest, who will introduce himself in just a second. We spoke a lot about certain topics, and I guess I kind of have, I wouldn't say controversial views, I just have very personal contentions with this sort of thing. And by the end of the episode, I later found out, I think I maybe should have spoken about it, maybe in a different way, as you'll soon find out. And I just want to apologize for that because, I don't know, I kind of felt like I was being disrespectful, even if he didn't particularly mind it. I think I should clarify with that. With that, I will allow my guest to introduce himself, who is with me. You can say your first name, you can say both your first and last.
Hello, I'm Alex Boudreau. Peter and I had our freshman seminar together.
This is actually a really good, well, I was about to say, like, how do we know each other, Alex?
Yeah.
We sat next to each other because we were one of 4 dudes in that class.
Oh, yeah.
And
there were 4. I was about to say 3. I forgot.
What's his
Keyshawn.
Keyshawn, but he left halfway through because, like, something happened.
Yeah.
Alright, this is I just drank some water, as a classic person does. I'm already thirsty. I didn't tell you this because I wanted to be very, like, in your face.
Yeah.
You were the first person I wanted to interview.
Really?
And I never got around to doing it because I was like, Alex seems busy all the time.
Oh, no, for whatever reason, this semester, I feel like I'm way more busy because, like, all my classes are one after another, and I'm taking, like, calculus and 2 other science classes for my major. I feel like I'm maybe not, like, mentally as busy. But yeah, last semester, I was still very much trying to kind of figure stuff out. I feel like this semester, I've really got myself kind of settled in where I want to be, and more or less I kind of have my pattern for what I want to be doing. And
well, what do you want to be doing? What's your major?
Namely just for college. At the moment, I'm an environmental science major.
Oh, God.
Just kind of in my general interest, science has always been something that I've really liked. It's always been something that I've been fairly good at. And on that subject, I definitely need to, if I'm going to continue this path as a science major, I need to change my study habits, to be more intensive, because like the geology class that I'm taking, evolution to geology, that, as well as I'm just taking an introductory chem course, they're just very, very study intensive.
I'm friends with a lot of, like, bio majors and chem majors, and Chandler, friend of the show, she's a nutrition major, so...
Oh, sweet.
Well, I think she's changing to nutrition. She was a chem major, switching over to it, and I'm like, yeah, no. Science, y'all have too much work. Like, I am an electronic media and broadcast major. All of our work is very hands-on, and we don't have, luckily, not much homework, but comm classes they're kind of jokes, comm classes.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's kind of, who was that took some sort of comm course? One of my friends took a comm course, and I think dropped it within, like, the first week, just because it was a lot of just kind of, I forget what his gripes were with it, but it just wasn't what he was looking for, I guess. It was just for a gen ed or something, I think, but...
Yeah, and obviously we didn't meet through either a gen ed. We took it through a freshman seminar because our university has... I don't know if that's a common thing, but our university has, like, weird classes specifically meant for freshmen too, I guess, like...
It's like, most freshman seminars are centered around a certain general interest, like ours, for example, was Young Americans, which focused on the progression of the teenage group and how that kind of... as an age group, how it was created, how it's developed throughout the 20th century, and just a lot of cool stuff.
And I've always had, like, hence why I'm doing it now, I've always had a fascination with, like, adolescence and stuff, because, like...
it's cool.
It's like...
cool. It's weird and cool.
That class was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
But
I was definitely. I don't know anybody who really took that super seriously.
I found some of the reading interesting. I found the textbook interesting that we had. It was just called Teenagers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Read
I still have that one. No. I read it, but man, I put my nose to the grindstone to read that. I have ADHD, so it just makes it like for reading is like I can really love reading a book, but I really just have to like really just grind out actually having to read the book.
You know, James.
Yeah.
He has Casey.
Oh
shoot! You know she's a film professor, right?
I did not know. Oh wait.
That's why we always watch
Yeah.
movies. In that class, our professor Casey was I'm looking at the computer as if it's an audience member.
Well, I mean, you gotta have something to direct your voice.
Yeah, but the professor Casey was a film professor, even though we didn't have a film class. We wound up watching movies.
Oh, we watched plenty of.
I think
films.
it was like 5 movies.
Watched.
And 6 we went to go to the.
Yes, we did. We went to go see.
The Hate You Give.
The Hate You Give. We saw Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which was.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, I watched. It was. Oof. There's some.
Oh wait, I did watch that.
There's some scenes in that.
You see tits.
I watched that movie in the
Alex!
library.
And
when those scenes came out, I was like, ooh, I hope there's no one standing behind me, because goddamn, they're just gonna think I'm, like, really just cutting loose in the library.
I was,
It was, oof.
There's this show, I swear to God, I've been talking about Joe all day. He's gonna feel, like, really weird about this, but, other friend of the show, Joe, he, I got him watching this fucking hilarious Comedy Central show called The Other Two with 2 random people, and it's not important. Well, I can explain it like later. It's not relevant right now, but there's the main character. There's 2 main characters, and one of them's like a woman, and the other one is this dude who's an aspiring actor, but he's also like a gay dude. And there's just this one scene in the 4th episode. We didn't finish watching it, but I told Joe, I was like, don't watch it in front of anyone, because it's a little there's no like actual dick, but like it looks like a porno. Like I was like,
you've got a fair amount of material.
He's like, and like both of them were like really good looking dudes, so I was like, I'm not complaining. Speaking of, this is so Chandler, do you remember when I knocked on your door ages ago and there was that girl with me? I forgot what I needed from you.
Skylar. No, it wasn't Skylar.
Chandler.
Yeah.
It was my friend.
What were you asking for?
I think it might have been.
Or was it this semester or past semester?
Last semester.
Last semester.
I think I might have been asking you something about the movie because I was driving you and I think I needed to pick you up or something, and Chandler was just with me. She goes.
It was because it was when my phone was still broken.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why. Yeah, my phone for about a month last semester was broken because I had some weird. It was like a factory defect where it got stuck in a reboot loop.
Right.
And that was a whole mess.
And she was like, how do you know him? And I was like, he's in my freshman seminar. And she was like, oh, that's cool. And I was, this is so embarrassing. I was like, he was just a naturally charismatic person. You like are weirdly charismatic. He's a good looking dude. He's a very nice person. She's like,
thank you.
And then she goes like, he's straight. I'm like, dude, no. I'm not that type of person where like I can tell when someone's
You're the radar.
App State would not approve.
App
They would
State.
not approve of me saying that, but I can tell when someone's straight. The bisexuals though, they get me, dude. I shouldn't be talking about this because it's about you, but like bisexual dudes love me. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. It's not like weird, like, oh, how dare the bisexuals exist, but it's just like,
how dare them?
you know, like no one. I don't know bisexual dudes really, except for the dudes who have tried to hit on me. And like,
interesting.
It's just weird. Do you know any bisexual dudes? Alex?
Actually, no. Technically, no. Let's
technically.
See. No, like I'm just thinking. The first one that comes to mind is my buddy Sam from high school, and you could definitely tell that he's bi. He's like a very artsy kind of dude.
Oh God.
Does
he go to UNC Asheville?
No. He goes to Virginia Commonwealth. And then I've got. Let's see. I think of 2 off the top of my head.
Well, look at that. That's more than I could name before I went to college. Fun fact. Not fun fact. I went to UNC Asheville to visit one of my friends. Everyone there is bisexual. Like,
oh, wait.
Actually,
I was just thinking of bisexual guys. I know a lot more bisexual girls.
Bisexual girls are more common, I think.
Yeah.
But, or at least more commonly out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand what it is with, like, I guess maybe.
I guess girls typically just find like they're able to kind of see it more, or I don't know. I guess for guys, I don't know. This might not be a really accurate comment. I feel like if for guys to like really explore their sexuality, it's less. It's more of like a, I don't know. There's just not as much comfort that they can feel like initially, depending on their upbringing or whatnot.
Well, that too, but like I'm gonna honestly, gay dudes really like sex. No, I'm not like one of them. And I have to go.
People generally like it, but yeah, guys.
I don't understand what it is. Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm not even like denigrating them or like looking down. But it's just like a lot of times like it's sexual attraction comes absolutely first, and then afterwards. And I think with bisexual dudes, they kind of are afraid to toe past being in a relationship because I talked to bisexual guys. I didn't go into a relationship because we didn't even do anything besides talk, and I realized they weren't really in it for the long run. But I'm fine now. I'm fine now. Bisexual
Continue.
people. I mean, we can move on from this. It's not like you're.
No, I just like to like see where like just like conversations just like snowball.
I had when I was like 14. This is how I know I've been like destined for podcasting, for like podcasting, whatever this is, radio, audio. I generalize it as audio broadcasting because it encompasses radio and podcasting. I've been podcasting since I was 14, I think. 14 or 13. With people who are way older than me too. I should not have been talking. Like, I mean, not, like the youngest was 16, besides me, and I was 13. And then, but when I was like 15, I just realized I love talking to people, and so like I have the whole thing where it's like it's really interesting to like have a long conversation with someone and then like track how the hell you got from point A to point B to C to D.
It's really therapeutic. Like only in like starting kind of late junior year, going to senior year, I started listening to a lot more podcasts. Mm-hmm. And man, it's just fun. It's fun to like you just be kind of doing something else and just listening on the offhand, or you could just sit down and some people's podcasts like I think Chris D'Elia might have one. I know this YouTube channel H3H3 Productions. They have their podcast. Like sometimes you can watch them, or like if I'm out doing like yard work or something, I can just pop my earbuds in and listen to them.
I used to be it's kind of sad considering I'm like actually pursuing podcasting or audio broadcasting, and I've actually like really grown out of podcasts. I think there needs to be like a new resurgence or whatever, because there's a few that I'll still listen to. On the offhand chance I'll listen to H3H3, but I need like more comedic. I like more comedic podcasts, and I don't find him very funny off the cuff, and neither am I. I'm not funny off the cuff. I can write pretty humorously or whatever, but not off the cuff.
Who's a funny podcast?
I was listening to Cody Coe's and Noel Miller's. Have you listened to theirs?
I have not.
Oh my god, you would like them. Tiny Meat Gang. It's exactly
funny.
why like they named it that, because
that's funny.
They named it for some stupid video they made. When Jake Paul's "It's Everyday Bro" was like out.
Oh yeah.
Cody Coe, he's like a comedian. He was actually a Viner, and he was like, honestly, I think he's the only successful Viner person who transitioned into YouTube that like isn't disgraceful.
Oh yeah. He did like
Lele Pons.
I was supposed to say. I was just about to say. I'm not gonna name names, but.
Like Lele's gonna come for me, dude.
Come for your neck.
Yeah. Cody, he made this response video to Jake Paul's video, and he did a parody rap video, and his artist name was Tiny Meat Gang, and Noel Miller, he was also on Vine, but if you've seen the Vine where it's like, hey, what up? It's your boy.
Like, yeah, it's your boy. Skinny.
That's literally him. That's Noel Miller.
That's funny.
They're hilarious together, but let's move away.
Yeah,
you are in I don't know the name of it, but you're in an acapella group.
Enharmonics.
What?
Enharmonics.
Enharmonics.
Kind of like pentatonics, just without the pent.
And the ton.
Oh yeah.
It's just the X. It's just the X.
Yeah.
It's just the X.
We got an H in there though. But yeah, man, starting my junior year, starting my junior year of high school, I started singing in my high school's acapella group, which it's acapella, but it was it's more of a chamber choir where we sang, and we were called the Madrigals, where we sang like a lot of Renaissance age stuff, and like we had this guy, Jerry Kidd. He retired, I think, my senior year. So the people who came in right after me were the last people to ever get costumes made by him, but he was the guy that like everyone went to get costumes
Y'all
made.
dressed up.
We had bomb ass costumes. I'm gonna see if I can pull them up on just so I can give Peter an idea what high tier.
You guys dress? Is that a thing? I've never been to like an acapella off. So.
I don't know how many other groups do it. Let me see.
And y'all did.
GHSPM.
That's weird.
The Grimsley High School Madrigals. I'm checking out. These are this current year's group's trip to the Biltmore Estate. We sing there every once in a while. This is like an idea of the costumes they're wearing.
Wow, they're okay. So for the audience, whoever's listening, if anyone's listening, they're wearing like it's a lot of girls, obviously, but there's a few dudes, and they're literally wearing like things that like not like kings and queens would wear, but you know like nobility. Like it looks like Romeo and Juliet.
Renaissance age, like pretty gnarly stuff. Like my senior year, I think we had 20 or 22 people. 5 guys tenors, 5 guys bass, and then like a 5 or 6 ratio for the girls, which was really cool.
Mixed bag.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like that's what I loved about it. It was a co-ed group. From not having done a cappella before, like it was such a cool new experience. For one, my confidence once I started like actually singing just skyrocketed. Like singing was something that I'd never done it in any sort of like a group setting. I'd never done it outside of just like singing to myself like while doing stuff, and it was such a cool experience. My sister, who's actually she's a senior right now here.
Oh yeah.
She was a senior and she did madrigals in high school because we went to the same high school.
Right.
And she got an amazing voice. She's got a really, really good voice. And her senior year, she sang soprano, and there were 3 other people, one from each voice part, one of which actually goes here, Grayson Milholland. He's a fucking musical savant. He's got an amazing voice. He plays like a bunch of different instruments. He's a really cool dude. And it was my sister, Grayson Milholland, and 2 other people. And like within most madrigal groups each year, we have something called like consort, which is like kind of a smaller group within madrigals where like we'll have maybe like a few people like with at least 1 or 2 from each voice part, and they'll sing like they'll have like their own little songs that they can sing as a smaller group because they're usually like they've got really, really good voices. And oh my god, they were like.
And your sister was a part of a consort.
Yeah, and they were amazing. Like they just had crazy vocal quality. Grayson sang bass, and literally anytime he was in anytime they sang as a group, you could just easily pick out like, oh, that's Grayson's voice because he's got such like a deep, rich bass.
We had one of those guys at my school, Danny Fisher. Yeah, Danny Fisher. It's like
Fisher.
When you hear he was a weird dude. I'm sorry, Danny. He signed. Oh damn, I don't have my yearbook, but he signed. Like I didn't even talk to Danny that much. He was like friends of my friends. Of my friends.
Oh, so it was like, what's your Danny Fisher number? Like 3?
Yeah, we probably never talked. We did in like middle school, but he's a very weird dude. He signed like we never talked. Obviously, he signed my yearbook in senior year with like, "Hope you enjoyed the pictures I sent you, baby," and I was like, "No, I can't show this to my parents." It's in my car still because I never took it out of my car because I'm like, I can't have my parents see this because. They will ask like, "Excuse me, hello." For real though, they would. They'd be like,
"That's so funny."
Is enharmonics co-ed?
Yeah, I was about to say. Back onto that.
It's fine.
But yeah, singing a cappella completely changed my life. I got way more confident. I'm so happy doing madrigals because the reason I mentioned my sister was because it was like I kind of had a legacy thing. Like I'd already known, I'd been to plenty of their performances because my sister had done it from her junior year to her senior year. And like I already knew the director, Marshall Johnson. Shout out to Marshall Johnson, love you. He's been the director my senior year. It was like his 14th or 15th year. But yeah, like the people who I was in the group with when I first joined, they knew my sister, and most of them I knew from things like cross country because most people who were in madrigals, they did like other extracurricular activities, so everyone kind of knew everyone in some capacity. But it was super cool because it was a lot easier than just kind of like weaseling my way into some like completely new group. I had some people like to kind of get my foot in the door,
right?
Because it was the only chorus that you had to audition for, and you could take it as a class. That was the cool thing about it.
That is cool.
My 5th period every year was I get to sing for like an hour, which was super super cool. And we had performances all the time during the winter months. Like we would go to different churches. We went to I remember in Greensboro downtown at the beginning of the December month. We have this thing called the Festival of Lights, where they have like this big tree set up in the center of downtown, and like I forget what time they do it, but they like light up all the lights and stuff, and it's super super cool.
Yeah.
And we got to sing on like the corner of a street every year out in the frigid.
I was gonna say it must have been cold.
And it was awesome. Oh, it was right outside the International Civil Rights Museum, the Woolworths counter.
I was about to say, I wouldn't know much about Greensboro, but I know that. Yeah.
Yeah. And God, it was so much fun. As I mentioned before, we go to the Biltmore Estate typically every year if like we can get in touch with them with logistics and whatnot.
Of course.
Every year we go to, like in the spring, we go compete somewhere. For my year, we competed in my junior year. We went to New Orleans, which was awesome. New Orleans is such a cool city. Couldn't go to Bourbon Street while I was there, but I went with my family the next year, and it was super sweet.
That's cool.
And then this past year, my senior year, we went to Orlando, which was really cool. We went to Universal Studios.
The better of the two. I'm not a big fan of Disney World.
Oh, dude, Harry Potter World was so cool.
I don't like Harry Potter, but even I enjoyed it.
Oh, I'm not super super big on it because I'm gonna put myself out there. I haven't finished all the books. Like I remember as
I got bored.
I know a bunch of people or I know at least one of my friends is like, but I got to like the 5th book when I was really really young, and I was just getting to the point where I would read enough that it would just put me to sleep like instantly, and that pattern unfortunately still continues today. Which makes
Welcome to college.
Which makes reading for classes really really hard. But yeah, Matt, singing super duper fun. Getting familiarized with the style of choral music. It fit really well, like just in like with my general timbre, it was really easy to kind of conform to. Just because I sang tenor, like just the natural register of my voice worked pretty well with choral music, as opposed to like more modern music or stuff that like the acapella groups here would perform, like older stuff, like fucking I don't know any like old composers, but anyways, that was super duper fun. I had a great time. Ended up doing a lot more singing during my senior year because we had a resurgence of this thing we do called the Mr. Whirly pageant at my school, at Grimsley High School. Our mascot is the Whirlies.
Okay, I was like, what's Mr. Whirly?
I'm pretty sure we're like the only Whirlies in the country, which is really, really cool. Like most people, like, there's, got fucking the Wildcats or whatever is like a team mascot or something. Or
UNCSA has the Fighting Pickles.
Oh yeah, I had some friends that went there, which
I won as well.
I love the Fighting Pickles.
It is a name.
It is indeed a name. But yeah, Mr. Whirly, it was like they hadn't done it in like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we had a really, really good group of guys to do it. And we
what is the pageant?
It's basically just like a goofy, fun talent show almost. Like where you we had like a rehearsed group dance that we worked on for like 2 months. Shout out to April Turner and Virginia Wells for literally doing all the choreo for that and teaching it to us for like 2 months.
That is very nice of them.
And putting up with our BS while we were trying to rehearse. There was that. There was like a best dress thing. I wore a kilt that I had.
Breathable.
Oh no, it was great. I did a little twirl. All went well.
Are you Irish or Scottish?
I've got some Irish and Scottish.
You're just feeling the kilt.
Oh no, I was definitely feeling the kilt, and occasionally I'll go into an accent. But I was about to
say, like
I was like, I don't know if I want to do this on the podcast, but I was like, oh, fucking do it.
To do the accent?
Yeah. Let's see. There was that. We had, obviously there was like a talent show, and I ended up singing for that, and then being a part of my other friend's part where he sang as well. And it was super duper fun. But anyways, on to fucking
college.
College. Sorry, I went off on a couple tangents.
Completely fine. Normally, I'm the one who's talking too much. So
yeah.
And you're not talking too much. Let me
coming
clarify.
to college, singing. I wanted to make sure that I kept doing that because I enjoyed it tremendously, and I wanted to make sure that like whatever I was doing, I was like traveling or like going out of my way to like perform and stuff. Because at harmonics we perform a lot. Actually, the last 3 weekends, We went to Knoxville for ICCAs, which which was super duper fun. We went to the very next weekend. We went to Chapel Hill to perform for Chapel Hill High School's acapella, which was fun. Ran into actually a friend of mine who performs in some other acapella group. I can't remember what it was. And this past weekend we went to Wilmington.
Wow, that's a 5-hour drive.
Yeah.
You all took a bus?
No, we drove. We carpooled that.
Cute.
We stayed in one of our friends' houses on the beach.
Yeah, speaking of James, he's from Wilmington, actually. He's from coastal what's it called? Carolina Beach, which is off of Wilmington.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I remember him mentioning something about that. Like, I saw him leading up to it, and he was like, oh yeah, I live there.
It's so weird to hear about people who are from Wilmington here. My RA is from Wilmington. I'm just like, why are you here?
Yeah, why make the trek all the... Like,
I think you
literally, from fucking sea to the mountains.
I don't think you can get any further to stay in state unless you go to, like, Western. From Wilmington. Western's a pretty far drive. Even from here, it's like 3 hours. So, and I would know because I go to UNC Asheville all the time, which is 2 hours, and there's a 1 hour difference between the two. That's cool though, enharmonics. I've always wanted, like, it's very well known. Like, my friends are very, like, they know this. I love singing so much. Not choral singing. I could never do acapella, but, like, my favorite artists are, they have, like, big voices and usually very clever lyrics and stuff. So like whenever I hear people with music, I always get like super fascinated, even if it's acapella, which I said it like I didn't care, but it's more just I know I could never do that. I like first of all, I have like I can only sing women's voices, but it's like low women's voices.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. This girl named
like alto probably.
I think that's what Brittany said. She was this girl who wanted to do vocal coaching because she was a vocal coach, but then I was like, I don't think I have time for that. She's very sweet, but she was like, I think you have like an alto voice. I'm like, I don't know what that means. I know nothing about music. My parents did not. I guess they kind of did, but they kind of didn't. They kind of let me do what I wanted, but they wouldn't let me do much also. So I never learned anything with instruments. Never did any sports, but that was my own choosing. And then when I was like 13, I'm like, oh. And I was like discovering I was a homo, and I was like, it's true. It's so sad. I was like, oh, I'm gonna play a fucking sport. Fuck this. Like, so you went on sport I did. Horseback riding.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I'm not gay, I ride horses. Fuck you. And it was a pony.
That probably sounded really weird because I just said hell yeah into my bottle, but wow, yeah.
It was a pony named Grace. It's been some years, but it's like riding a bike, I think. You don't it.
Yeah.
Except it's got 4 legs.
And it has, like, immense power and can, like, kick your head off.
Yeah. Oh my God, there's so many jokes I just thought of. I'm in stand-up club, so I'm, like, trying to work better on associative humor, and I was like, oh yeah, my last day riding horses, I rode bareback. I'm like, fuck! I was like, damn it. I was like, I can't get away with I can't not get a...
No, you gotta throw them in there, man. It just makes it so much better.
Man, I don't want to be known as the gay stand-up comic. Because, like, I'm gonna be real.
You don't want to have, like... I guess just having that stigma attached, well, like, it's gonna draw negative attention from some people, but fucking, it's funny.
Yeah,
comedy is comedy.
It is, but it's kind of just like... it's because it's the weird sentence. I've been gay for so long. I've been out more than any gay dude I've ever met. Like, I could never hide it. Are you kidding me with this voice? And especially in middle school, oh my God, I was so flaming. It was really, like, honestly, like, I understand why people didn't like me. So I've been out for more than almost anyone I know. So I've always been, like, around, like, I've been with the gays. I know the shit. So, like, I give them, like, a good ragging. Because, like, honestly, like, yeah, which they obviously deserve. Like, gay people don't deserve to be persecuted. But it's just, like, I'm like, we need it to be taken down a peg sometimes.
Everyone, like, deserves to get ragged on every once in a while.
Exactly.
Like, no one is omitted from being, like, hey, cut your shit out.
Especially because, like, we're fucking idiots sometimes. We are, like I can't think of something off the top of my head, but, like, gay Tinder is, like, the worst. Gay Tinder is like a wasteland.
Gay Tinder and Grindr make me fucking scream. It's so funny.
Why have you been on Grindr?
I haven't been on Grindr, and I haven't been on Gay Tinder. I've just been around a lot of people who've used that, and it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's so funny, the shit that you find.
Gay people are so, like, a lot of them are just like, I was like, do you even... I don't know, like, I haven't had much success on Tinder, so it's not like I can really say. I'm like, are they just looking for hookups on Tinder? Because I'm like, gay people have a whole thing for that. They have Grindr,
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's for.
Yeah.
So, but, like, they'll always put on their bio, it used to be, like, last semester, it was always, like, quote vines to me. If you have a dog, show me a picture of it.
And now it's just like, choke me.
No. It's moved on to Ariana Grande quotes. Like,
of course, it's fucking Ariana Grande.
You wanna know how I knew Cardi B would release a new song? It's because gay people would put it in their, like, My Anthem on Tinder. I'm like, come on, dude. Like,
fucking Enharmonics is an Ariana Grande fan group. I did not listen to Ariana Grande, like, pretty much at all.
Is it, like, her new music?
Oh, it's... Yeah, mostly it's, like, anytime her new shit comes out, that is, like... Like, I have gotten way too familiar with fucking 7 Rings, Break Up With Your Boyfriend. I've gotten way too familiar with the new album, but it's fine, because, like, I can still enjoy it. Like, I don't dislike any music, I just don't listen to pop music too often.
There's actually, like, Ariana Grande, I'm a music snob. I'm a huge music snob. Ariana Grande had her first album, I believe it was called Yours Truly. I think this was, like, in the transitional period where she's like, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm trying to relax my face. I noticed that was, like, really tense.
Okay.
It's just because I'm nervous because I'm having my voice recorded.
It's literally, like...
Or, like, slightly nervous.
You'll break it. Yeah, exactly.
Like, now that we're just talking, it's just like, oh, okay.
That's literally how, all my previous guests have been. Like, they're like, I'm like, in the first 10 minutes, they're like, oh, I'm so nervous. And then, like, it's 30 minutes now. And you're like, it's been 30 minutes?
Like, oh, shoot.
Ariana Grande, she had an album called Yours Truly, which I think was the transitional when she was getting from Nickelodeon off of it.
That was an interesting period.
It's always an interesting period for, like,
any sort of artist coming from, like,
previous engagements.
Yeah,
like,
especially ones with, like, more children's associated TV programs, like, I guess, example, Miley Cyrus. I don't know how long it had been since she stopped doing, like, Hannah Montana stuff or, like, country music stuff.
Yeah.
To when she started trying to get more into the pop scene, but...
I like, sorry, I blanked. Ariana Grande, just because of that. She does have one good song called Honeymoon Avenue, and it's just that I haven't listened to much of that album, but, like, Ariana Grande then and Ariana Grande now don't sound much alike, except they both have R&B influence. I just get...
And whistle tones.
No, not in that song. At least, I haven't listened to... She probably does on that album, but,
Kind of flaunt those vocals.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Dude, there's this video, my friend, like, tagged me in it, and I don't even know why, but, like, it was so... No, I tagged her in it, actually, and it's a video of... You've seen Victorious.
Oh, yeah.
You were a child.
Yeah, I was a child.
You know,
I lived in said decade.
You know Elizabeth Gillies, who plays Jade.
Oh, yeah, I love her. She's awesome.
I would go straight for her. She's gorgeous.
She, I think she's doing some sort of TV.
She's on Dynasty.
Dynasty, and I think it's some other TV show.
I
think it's...
Her and Ariana Grande posted a video on, I think, 2 different videos, but it was, like, the same night, of them singing. Jesus Christ.
She's got a voice.
They both have crazy voices. Holy crap. I was like, why aren't you in... Like, Ariana's doing her music career. Like, come back, dude, because she's got insane voice.
You could go in.
Oh, my God. Like, I think it's...
I mean, I guess she likes acting more or whatever, but...
I mean, good for her. I mean, and she's a great actress. So, I mean, good for her. But, damn. I was just... Like, it's so...
She got pipes.
She does.
You know,
Have you, like... What are you... Music. What are you into? Who are your music people?
Yes.
Don't say that. No, hell no. No. If I open your Spotify or whatever...
See. You're gonna see a lot. You're not really gonna be sure where to wrap your head around, because... So, my senior year, I took IB Music Perspective, which just kind of... It educated us on a lot of... It wasn't music theory, which, like, technical aspects of music. It was more on, like, the history of music and different world culture, like, music. So, I like a lot of... I love 90s hip-hop.
Okay.
I love... God, that's like the only genre that I can really name off the top of my head. I love indie. I mean, who doesn't like indie? Love rap. Fucking... I just like music a lot. Like, I can never put my finger on it. Like, if Spotify just, like, could put stuff into a category of, like, this is the genre that this is in, which is difficult sometimes because music is very fluid. I probably could do a better job of stating it. But...
Do you remember who your top 5 Spotify artists were? Because that's how I always like to do it.
Man. Do I have that saved as a picture? Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I do not.
You don't remember? Do you remember him at all?
Let's see. I think it was a weird one that it had set.
I'm just curious.
See, I love Mac DeMarco.
James loves Mac DeMarco.
I love. I listened to Mac DeMarco pretty much my entire junior year of high school.
James loves Mac DeMarco.
I love him. I love Tame Impala. I actually really like folk punk. This band I love called Defiance, Ohio.
The Deer Hunter. You love them. That's folk punk like epitomized. Sorry.
Nice. I love. Let's see. Chance the Rapper. I love him. Gonna shout out you boys, Electric Jelly Funk, because most of the guys that were in that band went to Grimsley. Their first album on Spotify is called
Grimsley something, or is
no, it's
Mr. Morley?
Room 300.
What was Room 300? Do you know?
I'm trying to think where it would be. I think that was a room in. I think that might have been the theater room where like theater classes were held, where like they probably just like hung out and chill a bunch, or chilled out a bunch. Let's see. I love Ella Fitzgerald.
Dude,
I love.
Good taste.
Like I've got. I don't know. I have a very broad appreciation, to say the least, for music. There's not a lot of music that I just really like. Would rather not listen to.
I am slightly the opposite. I'm very fickle with music. I don't like to say there's bad music. Like, very rarely would be like, this is bad music. I hate Imagine Dragons, and I will put that down. and Fits in the Tantrums is becoming Imagine Dragons, and that's heartbreaking.
I'm just not really a fan of a lot of pop music. I guess that's like, not gonna say I'm not a fan of it. It's just it's not like my go-to listen. I guess I'm not too much of a fan of like stuff that you're gonna hear on the radio a lot. Though I love Bruno Mars. I fucking love Bruno Mars.
Our radio station is actually pretty good at playing like. I mean, they play a lot of Green Day, but they don't play like college radio stations. Normally, I guess kind of go for like fake alternative,
Yeah.
like people who are like I listen to alternative music. I listen to Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys.
Like shit like that. But like not to flex, but we are in my room, so I'm gonna flex about really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
They actually play them sometimes. Oh wait, this is perfect. We're literally next to my drawer of music. Holy crap! Well,
You have a drawer of music?
okay, I'm gonna explain things really quickly.
Okay.
This is like perfect. My number one favorite band of all time is Florence and the Machine. This is a exclusive box set.
I am familiar.
I would die for her. Sorry, I would literally die for her.
What would you kill for her?
She is a musical genius. I swear to God, and her lyrics. Fuck. This is a box set of her latest album, Highest Hope.
Cool.
I have exclusive tarot cards drawn by her because I read tarot. I don't believe in tarot, but I read tarot cards.
Like, I love that sort of stuff. I just try not to apply it to things that I do in my life because I feel like you get way too in your head about that sort of stuff.
It can give you new perspective on issues, but there's a poster. I hope this is probably gonna sound a little weird with my voice. That poster, Jukebox the Ghost. They play Florence sometimes. They play Hunger, which is a great song.
Oh.
And they play Jukebox the Ghost's Fred Astaire, which you probably won't like. It's piano pop rock. It's very okay.
I love like weird shit.
This is how
Weird
I know.
shit's cool.
This is how I know I was destined to like them so much. But just like we were talking about tracking history of like conversations, almost.
Oh,
I go through my Spotify and I can tell you how I found almost every single song. Like it's just a thing.
Oh, I could go through and tell you how I found certain stuff. Let's see. I've got this lo-fi hip-hop artist, Ginseng. I found him from listening to... Oh, shit. Oh, it was... Wait, do you know that? It's like a YouTube live stream. It's like 24/7 lo-fi hip-hop thing.
Oh, God, yes.
It was either from that or from watching some streamer on like Twitch back when Destiny 1 was really popular. Because
And you played that.
I used to love that game, and I watched this one dude... King Gathalion, and like this just came up like in the background.
Yeah.
And I found that. I really love Jimi Hendrix, and I started getting involved with him because my buddy Micah, who goes to NC State, he plays guitar. He started getting into it like sophomore year, and he mentioned it a couple times. I was like, huh, I've heard a couple songs by Jimi Hendrix. I like him. Let me give him a listen. And it was like
I mean, he's classic rock and roll too.
Oh, he's amazing. Because apparently like a lot of the stuff that he wrote or. For his guitar playing, I think he wrote his music like it would be played for piano or on piano.
Yes.
They played it on guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wicked. Just an example of weird shit. I love polka.
Yeah, that's very weird.
Polka music is fucking... Just because it's literally just fucking folk rock, but it's like German folk music.
I mean, I kind of slap to like old swing music, and I freaking adore good, lost it.
No.
Oh, I totally lost it. Good Irish river dance music. Heavy fiddles.
Oh,
hell yes.
Shit. Like, a lot of those sort of instruments, like the very distinct instruments, they really fucking catch my ear.
Strings
like,
are so beautiful.
I was actually about to mention the shamisen.
I don't know what that
which
is.
It's a Japanese strummed instrument. It's got like I think 3 strings. I think it's fretted, and you play it with like this weird like fan, like, and it's plucked, and it sounds.
That's very weird.
It's so fucking. I love the sound of it. I also the main thing with polka is I love accordions. Accordions for whatever reason. I'm just like, oh shit, that sounds nice. I love. There's this one band called the Dreadnoughts. With
I think I might have heard of them.
They're like some sort of kind of. I want to say like Irish. I don't want to say punk rock, but they've got like
garage rock.
It's almost like if they took fucking like sailor shanties and made that shit into like actual good, like kind of rock songs. Like you can tell like there's some sort of like Irish like kind of influence in some of them. I love this. I don't really listen to polka with any consistency because I mean you can find a lot of songs on Spotify, but it's not really something for everyday consumption.
Right.
One thing that I actually do love and have a lot of respect for is mariachi. Mariachi music, I did a paper on for my music class, and let me tell you, man, mariachi musicians, like those groups, they are some of the most talented musicians that like you will ever find. They have to play multiple instruments. They memorize everything that they play, and each one of them at least has to be able to sing well. Like for at least one part, they're like the fucking like quality Swiss Army knives of musician, and they don't like record any of their shit because mariachi, it's something that's meant to be experienced live and something that you bring to like a very special occasion. So fucking mariachi musicians have like they're up here for me because some of the shit that I've heard, like there's the one mariachi group that I can really find on Spotify is Mariachi Sol de Mexico, and there's the paper that I had to do was actually comparing 2 music cultures together, and I compared mariachi and polka.
Dude, you're so weird.
It was the musical technicality of it. So
that's cool. I'm just
literally, I just shuffled. I hit shuffle play on Mariachi Sol de Mexico, and the third song that came up, I found a song that, in terms of like technical stuff, like they're almost identical in BPM, but in terms of like the pattern that the music is structured, is almost identical to another song that I was listening to.
Weird.
By some polka group. But I think one of the songs, because I was just like, all right. Saving that, let's hear what more these guys have to offer. And I listened to a beautiful fucking song that at the very end, they hit and sustain like one of the highest and most beautiful fucking chords I've ever heard from any musician. So that's like, just in terms of like their ability, there's like just sheer ability, mariachi musicians like are fucking the coolest to me.
Well, I definitely don't have. Alright.
Oh no, it's not like something that like I usually will talk to people about, but like if we're just
no, it's interesting. It's just like I definitely can't say jukebox because of like mariachi. I'm not like, oh, how dare you, Robert? I was just like, I should finish the thought at least.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't know if I like.
No, you're completely fine. It was interesting, and I
me.
liked hearing it. Like this is the things I do. I like hearing about weird things that people. Yeah. Nobody thinks. Oh no, nobody would care about this. That's like the most interesting thing about someone. Jukebox. The reason why I know I was destined to like them is because when I was 17, turning 18, and I was creating a playlist of songs about like turning into an adult. I don't know why. I thought it was hipster and cool. Didn't really work out. Did you do that?
Not specifically. There's one band that I can't believe this didn't pop into my head when I thought of folk punk. This is band Panucci's Pizza. They're not a band anymore. They broke up in 2015. If you want to get on your feely, emotional, like, you want to feel good but also just have, like, that whole feeling in your gut,
yeah,
Panucci's Pizza has some of the saddest and, like, the most bittersweet songs fucking ever. One of them is called Naruto-themed sexting.
Ew.
It's, the quality of the song has fucking no bearings on that title, but all the titles just kind of like they're just
Titles,
I feel like they're
yeah.
meant to just like kind of grab you. Like one of them, let's see, where's the P? Panucci's Pizza. Taylor's first to 8 strings. I killed Arbor Day for you. Dibs on the bubble split.
Yeah.
Dibs on the bubble slice. Fucking Keanu Reaverbox. That song right here every single time. It's
That's
so
weird.
weird names, but oh my god, dude. Panucci's Pizza. I think it's the fact that they're not together anymore.
That you like them so much.
Fucking. It's like, man, this and the reasons for them breaking up. Like they're not gonna be a thing anymore. Like they've gone on, they've moved on, and they've made what they've made, and that's it.
And you put them on your playlist, your emo whatever playlist.
I don't have any playlists.
Oh.
Like it's literally just kind of. That's the thing. I suck at making.
I don't know. I don't normally do it.
I suck at it.
I have one playlist that's like a concept playlist. I won't explain it to you, but it's a concept playlist. And to me, there's a whole story to it, but no one else would get it.
Oh no, I totally understand.
But Jukebox. So I was turning into an adult, and my second favorite song of all time is now by them, and it's because of that moment. I was searching up the random words, like 17. I found this song called 17 by Sjogren, SJOWGREN. I said that because they deserve way more attention. They're really talented.
Verbally say their name again.
Sjogren.
Sjogren.
But it's not spelled like that. I don't know why they would choose that, but whatever.
Sounds good.
And maybe it's foreign. But Jukebox, they had a song called Adulthood on their third album called Safe Travels, and I fell in love with them, and I was describing it to them when I first was like telling people about them. I'm like, they're like Walk the Moon meets Queen with more piano. And but this is how I know I was destined to become one of their biggest fans. They would, very soon after I discovered them, they would start revealing that, hey, just coincidence, we're releasing a new album. And on their freaking bio page, it literally said, what if Walk the Moon meets Queen? And they got rid of it, and I don't have evidence, but I swear to God, I was like, that was it. They sound a lot like Queen with a lot of piano. Beard Dude, Ben Thornwell, classically trained piano.
All three of them have
center.
Oh.
He just has a very nice
one of them looks like Jonathan from Queer Eye.
That one. No, not that one. But Ben is center. He is vocalist and keyboardist. He's classically trained. He's amazing on piano. Tommy Thornwell, guitarist. He's also a vocalist, but normally his songs aren't as good. I don't mean to roast him. And then Jesse Kirsten on drums. So now we can get to the music drawer.
Yes.
And it gets into my third artist, actually, of my third favorite artist. Florence 1, Jukebox the Ghost 2, and...
I have the hardest time picking a favorite artist. Like, I could sit for hours and debate.
So this is a drum... I wish this was a video podcast. This is a drumhead signed by Tommy, Ben, and Jesse. They only had 2 in existence on their last tour. It was $50. It was totally worth it. They're not very popular, so they have like 400,000
But
listeners.
that's fucking so cool!
Oh.
That's so cool!
I have more. They do play Fred Astaire. I mentioned it. They play Fred Astaire on WASU, and that makes me nut because that's one of my favorite songs by them.
Nice.
Deservedly so. And then I have, I was a part of their VIP tour. I have some pictures, but I don't have it on me. They're in my memory box. I'm not getting them out.
Nice.
But this is like an exclusive pin from the tour. But the coolest part is, so this, I've seen them twice. You know where Carborough is? You were in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
Carborough was the first time, and then they played in Charlotte right before Hurricane Florence hit. Like, the rains were coming in as we were there. That's where I bought the drum head. Nice. The first time they performed and the second time performed, they had the same opening act. Their name is... You might have seen me wearing their shirt once. It was the Greeting Committee. No, you didn't, because I went to that concert and I bought the shirt, like, as the semester was ending. But the Greeting Committee.
I'm pretty sure I missed like the last, or like maybe 1 or 2 classes in that of our freshman seminar, because the last hurrah of first semester, I was sick as a dog. Like it was like a hat on a hat with there being so much snow and me being sick as shit. Because either way, I was fucking like I was so fucking sick. I lost my voice for a whole week.
I skipped the last class, and I will tell you why in a second, because it actually comes somewhat full circle. But, so this is their set list, by the Greeting Committee. This is their set list, and it's signed by them.
Oh, that's so cool.
I am, without a doubt, their biggest fan. Like, they, Okay,
You'll
I can't
plug
even put it into
You'll
words.
plug their shit
There's
anytime.
so many thoughts going in my head. Like, even if Florence and Jukebox are above them, I genuinely think they're very small. I think they get, like, maybe 18,000 listeners. Maybe it's a little... Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit, but they're not very big. They wouldn't be on a radio station that's not local to them in Kansas City. That's how they got discovered. This whole thing, Addie Sartino is their lead vocalist. Okay, I'm gonna set the stage. This is all talking about me, but this is my favorite moment of my life. I saw Jukebox the Ghost. When I saw them, I already had VIP access, and we were at an exclusive acoustic showing where they took suggestions for their song, and I got them to play Adulthood. I have an exclusive recording of my phone. I need to go put it to YouTube. There's me singing really badly in the beginning, and then I was like, I need to shut up because I want to hear them. Thank you, Sydney.
You have to resist that temptation to sing along.
It's so good, though. And then I already got to meet them twice. That was my second time meeting them. And then after the show, I was like, Greeting Committee is back there again. I fell in love with them the first time. The second one, I knew all the words to this song, 17. That's probably one of their best songs. It's their like single. And Hands Down is, where is it? Hands Down is the one that everyone knows. If you've heard of Greeting Committee, you've heard of Hands Down. But 17, I would argue, is better. 17, I knew all the words to, and I was front row.
Did you play them at all in the car?
That was them! That was them!
That was them! I liked what you were playing. I liked it.
But did I tell
The
you...
Greeting Committee?
The Greeting Committee. Did I tell you what I did with her? That sounds like I had sex with her. She's a lesbian, fun fact. I sang 17 with her. I didn't get on stage, but like she made eye contact with me, and I was singing along, and I was like, oh fuck.
That is so fucking cool!
The bassist told me, I think he was lying, but he told me he recognized me from the last show, and I was like, I don't think you did, but I appreciate that, and then he gave me the set list. Because some girl asked for a set list, and I was like, I can't let this slip. Could I have one too? Could you sign it? And you're like, yeah, because there were two. Okay. Show ends. The Jukebox the Ghost show ends. The Greeting Committee is back. They're selling merch. I bought a shirt. I also accidentally stole a pin from them on the first tour. I mean, it was a pin, but I felt bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. So I showed them the set list. I was like, yeah, I was actually the guy who got the set list. And they're like, oh. Addie was like, oh my god, you were the guy who was singing 17 with me. I was like, I was like, I was. And she goes like, dude, that made me so happy to see someone know my song. I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? I was like, she does this one song, my second favorite song by them. Not Pull It Together. Run for Your Money. Pull It Together is great too, but Run for Your Money. She like just started dancing on stage, and I don't know if you know Florence and the Machine very well.
I know at least one of their songs. I can't think
Dog
of
Days Are Over.
Probably.
But you've never like you probably wouldn't have. But
I haven't like gone and like
seen her perform.
Oh no, I haven't gone and seen her perform. I haven't like usually if I find an artist that I start like, oh okay, they're pretty cool. I'll go into Spotify or somewhere and I'll start listening to their first album because with a lot of bands you can find some amazing stuff in their first albums.
Yeah.
Their first shit is usually
because they're not influenced by like,
or it's
they're doing what they
really like it could be really experimental. It could
Yeah.
just be like, oh all right, let's fucking try this. Let's do it.
But Florence, she's like Rolling Stones one time put her as the greatest live performer of all time. She's insane to me. It's just like
Damn.
Me and her click. Maybe it's because she was the first person I ever fell in love with music. Is like I very much can feel certain music, like kind of just like in my hands and shit. Like it's just she gets me. Addie,
it's tangibly intangible.
Addie, I told her I was like, dude, and I'm not doing this to kiss your ass. Like I wouldn't lie to you. I really think I was like, do you know who Florence and the Machine is? She's like, I love her, and I was like, dude, have you seen her on stage? She goes, yes, and I was like, oh my god. You remind me so much of her. And she's like, really? Thank you. And I was like, I'm not giving you a compliment. I'm saying this because I was like, I really think they could be like, not the next big thing, but like, pretty popular. I have a lot of faith in them. I talked for like 10 minutes, but we just...
No, you let me ramble on for what, like 20?
Yeah, but whatever.
I want, like, it's gotta be an equivalent exchange. Like, you gotta give and take. That's how conversations work.
I can't wait for them to go on tour again. But I told you I was going to go full circle with that freshman seminar because you said you were missing a class. And
oh, yeah.
I think I might have told you this because I was getting pissed at this one girl. Sorry, I'm waiting on the text, so...
Are you good? I'm just going through... Also, I love jazz. I love Ray Charles.
Are you going through your songs again?
Yeah, I was just going
through,
it's
like,
cute.
No.
Who do I really want to make sure, like, oh, okay, I love these people. I'm skipping over a few who aren't as like pivotal for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. I love Sublime. Sublime is awesome. Tame Impala. They're coming to Asheville in May, and I really want to see them or him.
Well, I would offer a ride, but you're in Greensboro.
Oh no, yeah. I think I'm gonna go maybe with my friend Noah.
We're going to see my friends. Me and all of my friends are actually all going to see. I'm not a huge fan of them, but everyone in my friend group is, and my own personal friend. We're all seeing Hippocampus in Charlotte. So
I have heard of them.
I think they're a little overhyped. I like all their music that's not on their albums, which is kind of sad. I like a few, like, Baseball's a great song, but doesn't matter. You don't know those songs anyway. But I want to see more live music.
Yeah, I've had some great opportunities to see live musicians, and I missed the opportunity to see like Van Halen and Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was younger, and I've never forgiven myself for that. I've at least seen, I got to see Dropkick Murphys, which was really cool.
I don't know who they are. I'm sorry.
If you ever heard the song "Shipping Out to Boston"?
Probably.
If you think about any sort of bar fight scene, think of their music. That's probably who you're gonna want to think of. I've seen Journey and I've seen Asia.
Wow, that's
cool. Which was really cool. Asia opened up for Journey, which was fucking sweet. Love Tenacious D. Tenacious D fucking rolls.
I'm getting a feel for your music.
A Tribe Called Quest, which is the 90s hip-hop group that I really love. Ooh, LL Cool J. I like some LL Cool J songs.
Second time I've heard him mentioned today.
Tyler, the Creator. I wasn't really big on Tyler until he dropped his album Flower Boy in summer of 2017. That song, that whole album is fucking. It was like his first try. It was like his first time trying to make like more music as opposed to like just rapping. And he's got some fucking amazing stuff. Like he's got like Rex Orange County on there. On that album, yeah.
I like I have one song by Rex Orange County, Best Friend, that I like the song, but other than that,
I don't listen to him at all. But every single time I hear him, I'm just like, shit, I love this guy. I've been listening to Brockhampton more often. I love Brockhampton.
Felicia and Jordan, also friends of the show, they love Brockhampton. I don't get it.
Yeah, they're all really fucking sweet. The reason, my main exposure to it was my buddy Parker. He made me a playlist called Oberon Needs a Playlist. And that comes from our senior year. We played D&D. My friend Parker, Micah, Will, and Noah. We all played a D&D campaign. It was very thrown together, and we had to cut it way short. But my character's name was Oberon, and he fucking made a playlist of all the shit that, like, a lot of shit that he listens to that I happened to also like. It was just stuff that I had never listened to, and he just made it up, and I love like everything that's on that playlist. And there's like four good Brockhampton songs on there that I started liking. But that whole playlist is just really special because like every time I listen to it, I think of senior year and just cool stuff.
I feel bad because my friend she made me a playlist, and like I was like, I don't fucks with any of this music, and she was the one I saw Florence and the Machine with. We loved, and she knew who Jukebox was. She listened to their second album, which is a pretty good album, but she made me a playlist. But there is like out of like I think it was like 30 songs. Out of like 30 songs, let's say one of them I found, and I can't stop listening to it. I mean, I don't think you'd like it. Maybe you would. I mean, you're the type of person who says I like music.
At the very least, I have a good respect for what most artists put out.
It's this song called Comatose by she's one of those not YouTubers turned musicians. She's a musician YouTuber.
I know. There's a dude who does acapella who goes by the name of Smooth McGrew.
I know who he is.
Yeah,
I know Smooth McGrew. He's been around forever.
He's been here for a while.
But Comatose, I really want to sing Comatose live, but like it's so underground, you can't even find proper chords for it, and like I can't play an instrument. Like one day, I love that song so much. Like one day I could be on stage and just have people perform. Next week's, I don't know if it's gonna be next week, but next week's guest, my friend Cameron, who is in a local band, he is a drummer, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get him.
Which local band?
Compo Note.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah. I will not talk about them right now.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I love she, like out of 30 songs, she got one song that I literally listened to for her entire day on loop, and it's still like I usually like just save my songs like in my song list, and I kind of just listen to them in like four songs at a time and like just cycle through them, and then I'll find more music and go through them again. But I think we should move on from music.
Okay, that's fine.
Crap ton.
We have talked almost exclusively about music.
I mean, that's good. We both like it.
I think this might actually be a good way. Segue. Did you know Michael Cera does music?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
yeah.
You know the guy from 13 Reasons Why, the main actor?
I actually haven't seen 13 Reasons Why.
Have you seen it, though? Did you know the guy I'm looking... Oh.
Probably. If I saw his face, I'd probably recognize it.
He is in a band as well. It was not... That show wasn't that good, but apparently he's in a band. I did tangentially mention for a second the last day of that class, of our Young Americans class, and I think I might have mentioned it, how I am not... Even, it's been 4 months since the last time I recorded, and I bring it up again. I don't like talking about politics. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. If anything, I'd rather avoid a conversation just to avoid, somebody... I don't know.
I just don't like controversial things.
It can be very combative.
And there was this one girl. She pissed me the hell off. And it was because this is a very... I actually talked about this on the episode that got corrupted. And she totally got it, and I was so... I feel like nobody ever gets it. So I'm a homosexual, and I have been homosexual all my life. This is going full circle. So, not all my life, but, for a very long time.
Yeah, for most of the time where you've been a conscious individual, you've known.
So we were talking about, Martin Luther King shit, actually, but, she mentioned offhandedly, she's like, we were talking about everyone's favorite word, the N-word, and I was like, I want to leave this class so badly, because I'm just like,
anytime it's a matter of, or a topic of, or a matter of
discussion.
Yeah, that's the word.
I don't want to hear, I don't like,
there's just so much room to, you just, bump elbows, and it immediately just,
my thing is,
it's such a touchy thing to talk about.
For the most part, I just like to mind my business, so I'm just like, why don't we just all mind our own business? But... offhandedly, so she was like, the girl was like, I think whatever, she's like, I think black people should only say blah blah blah. I was like, okay, whatever, I don't really care.
I don't necessarily agree, but I'm not gonna try and combat you.
It's not even like I disagree either. I don't care. It's just like, I don't use the word, that's my prerogative, that's it. And I'm not really a big fan of hearing it in general. I don't really make friends with people who use it, but it's not like, whatever. Okay, so, I'm not talking about that. So the girl goes, she was like, it's kind of like how the gay community or the LGBT community has reclaimed the word queer, and I think I bitched you about this. And I think I bitched you about this afterwards, very slightly. I was just like, this class bothered me because that girl just... Okay.
I think I remember that kind of...
I'm just gonna go on a very quick tangent.
Dude,
this girl in my hall, I told her about this, and she did not like it. She wasn't mad at me, but she was like... not getting it, and I'm like, dude, I'm a gay person, I'm allowed to have this opinion.
Right.
Normally I like to mind myself, but I am a... She was referring to me, even if not pointing her finger. I mean, I'm a part of that. I do not like the word queer. I just don't. I was like, I don't know who was the person who decided, let's just reclaim it or whatever, but I don't like it, and I do not like being put under that term.
I don't exactly remember, even the last time I heard that word since its kind of resurgence.
I think it's probably because of drag queens, which I guess is whatever.
Yeah.
And that got popular, and so everyone was like, queer's okay now, and I'm like, okay, please don't put me under that umbrella. It's not even... I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like it because I think people who identify under the queer community, and I'll talk about community in a second, but queer community, they're very political, and I'm not a political person. And it just entails not just being gay, bisexual, transgender, lesbian. It entails other things. And I'm just like, I don't, you're voting for whoever, or you believe this certain thing, or you act a certain way, or you follow such and such on Twitter. It's
just kind of being innately associated with.
And I just, not me. And the word community, you're not a comm major. We actually have learned some cool things in my Communications 1200 class from last semester. And there was this it's a bunch of big words I'm going to throw at you and to the audience very quickly.
Word.
Ontological metaphors, which are, I thought this was kind of BS at first, but then I started actually thinking about it. It's basically, you use specific words in a way that accidentally shape the perspective of what you're talking about. For example, I forgot who it was, but the dude who reported on the Boston Massacre from the Revolutionary War. What was that?
That was my neck popping. Sorry.
Who was it? Paul Revere? Was it Paul Revere? Whatever. Whoever it was.
But, whoever. Oh,
reported
yeah.
Okay, that guy took advantage of the ontological metaphor of massacre. Massacre implies one-sidedness, and that the person who is shot at is the good person.
Yeah.
That is a use of ontological metaphors because obviously, well, not obviously what happened, but it was not as one-sided as it may seem.
No.
So, community, in my opinion, is an ontological metaphor for, it's very much the same. It's like-mindedness. I don't think there's the LGBT community because there's transphobic gay dudes, like not just like I don't want to date a trans person or whatever. It's like actual transphobic like assholes, and you're just like, why would that be under the same community? Community implies interaction, like we all talk and we have meetings about things. Implies we all agree on shit.
Kind of a like-mindedness that like, you generally share that you can. Yeah.
Because the very few times you're ever going to talk about, I think that's appropriate to refer to all LGBT people as a collective. I guess, for example, like talking about LGBT rights would be, I would just use the word demographic or population because that implies that they just share a common trait. Which even then, I guess some people have made a weird point that it's like, it's kind of weird that like trans people and LGBT people are in like the same thing. I'm not the type of person who's like, no, no, they should or shouldn't be a part.
Yeah,
it's just
like the fucking technicalities of
it's
whatever,
too
man.
complicated. But like what I do know is I don't feel comfortable being part of a community. I think there are communities, but there is God, I don't forget the name of it, but like, you know, there's like young gay Democrats or whatever, or there's this Republican Party, I guess you call it, this group who's like trying to like
young Republicans or something.
They're trying to distance themselves, but their whole goal is to distance themselves from like old assholes in Republican houses who are actually homophobes or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I think the word house is in it. There's really conservative transgender people. There's super fucking libertarian. Actually, I know a libertarian gay dude. Yeah. Like I don't feel comfortable being put in a box on my sexuality because it's just like, which sounds so 2012. I'm like, I don't have a label, don't put me in a box, shit like that. But I don't know. In this political, did you hear? In this political climate, and it's always been a political climate. Like I don't like feeling like basically just a point of contention that they don't really care about. They just care about this single trait, but like speak to me as if they're speaking to me. That probably made no sense, but to me it does. Speaking of, I know this is totally not interesting. I'm just turning this to this gay podcast. Did you hear about this is political. Do you want to talk about this? You don't have to.
No, let's go for it.
Okay.
I'm
this
for
is
anything really.
Very few political things are like things that when it hits me personally, that's when I get pissed. You hear about the Jussie Smollett case? Have you seen the show Empire?
Not really, no.
There's a gay character on it.
What Empire?
It was a show about like this like not hierarchy, but this like conglomerate power in like the recording industry.
Oh wait, I know what you're talking about.
Lucius.
Yep, I've seen that.
Okay, you know the gay dude on there.
No, I didn't really watch with any consistency. I am familiar with like the actors who played the characters on that show though.
Jussie Smollett's an actor on there. He's one of the main characters. This got me a little mad because I don't like villainizing people, like groups of people, whether they be political or whatever. Like I don't like because you don't.
For it.
Yeah, just like I don't like collectivizing LGBT people on one thing. I don't like collectivizing political people as one thing.
Yeah.
So this guy, posted this like picture of him like beat the fuck up, and he was like, "Dudes, I just got beat up, like jumped with like a bike chain or some shit." I don't think it was a bike chain, but it was like I just got beat up with by these two white dudes who say at 2 a.m. calling like this is MAGA country and like saying racist and homophobic slurs because he's gay and black or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he faked the whole thing, and it was these two extras.
It's one of those.
It was
situations.
these two extras who were black, which doesn't really matter. But like he's already lying because they weren't white.
Yeah.
They were black. That like I guess not beat him up. Like he apparently. They were in on it, I know that. And, like, none of that happened. And I'm like...
It's just one of those situations where people needlessly get, like, they stir the pot.
There is no, like, there's two very big points that are super important here. A, you are not a person who can ever be taken seriously in any sort of allyship or whatever if you think that it's okay to fake a hate crime, because that doesn't, and this has happened before. People have faked hate crimes. That's not cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it does a disservice to the people who are victims of that sort of thing. However few and far between they are, like, you're trivializing it. Secondly, if hate crimes are so rampant or whatever in this country, which maybe they are, like, why fake it? Like, if it's such an important thing, like if it's such a thing we should talk about, there's no reason to fake it. It's not 100% confirmed, but like they just announced today, they're investigating him as a criminal, because it's a crime to fake hate crimes. I just was like, dude, like, I don't know why it unearthed such a I got
passionate
pissed.
response.
I got pissed because it's just like, you know, I mean, yeah, I'm gay. I'm not gonna say I'm proud. That's another word. I don't like saying I'm proud. It's like saying I'm proud to be right-handed. It's just like another thing about me.
Yeah, it's just the way. Yeah.
But you know, I've been around the block. Like, I know, and I've been never beat up. Yeah, I guess I was. But like, I was never very above it all with being gay, and I was from a very small town, not very small town, but like country. I was the first out gay kid in my class, like, and my grade. There was apparently a guy who, when I was a freshman and it was a senior in my high school, he was out and gay, but like it wasn't very common. So you get like some assholes, like I
know, yeah, you will get some shit,
and
it's
what
stupid.
You learn is to fight back with your words, and I'm not really good at it now because I'm out of practice, but like, I could say this, like, it's not like it doesn't happen that being gay and people target you or whatever, but like, I'd like to think we're a more accepting society now than even 5 years ago.
Oh, I would agree with that statement.
Even if I'm not a big fan of how we speak about LGBT people in general, like, as a community, I'd rather just use demographic. Absolutely, at least they're not being, like, they're not being outright dicks about it. Sometimes I think...
Yeah, no, you're more likely nowadays... I almost said nowadays. Nowadays, you're more like, if you have gripes with somebody or like of a certain demographic and you say stuff about it, you are the one who's more likely.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, this is just how I feel. I don't know if there's any truth to this statement. I feel like nowadays you are the one that's more likely to get shit for saying something that's ignorant or just stupid.
Yeah, I don't. So, it just made me upset, and I agree, because like, it's what made me upset. I'm just like,
I feel like we're little. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I feel like most people are a little bit better than that.
I don't know. But like, I don't get it. Like, what is the purpose of, like, there's so many of these, I hate to use fake news, but like, there's so many of these like fake news stories where it's just like, what the fuck happened? Like, those two like random kids, like high schoolers wearing like MAGA hats, and some random Native American just like banged a drum, and it was blown up, and it was like nothing happened. It was like the biggest non-news story I ever saw. And I'm just like, I get it. Like, it's kind of cringy to wear a fucking MAGA hat. Like, you kind of look like a loser.
Yeah, I've been so out of the loop just because I haven't had any outlet to really watch.
I learned about it like
passively.
I learned about it like 3 weeks after it happened. I'm very much, my head's in the sand as well. But like, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't care about like people's being. It's kind of embarrassing to wear the hat, but like, I don't really care if people support Trump. I don't get why they do, but it's not like I'm gonna. Whatever, it's like your prerogative, but it's just like, I don't get why we have to like villainize them. It's just like, it's not my thing. Like, if there are such bad people, and I'm sure there are, actually I know there are, who support Trump, who are dicks and like actually racist and whatever, like, yeah,
or
I guess
like they've got a very like
simple. They wouldn't like me walking by. Like, they exist, but it's just like, I don't get why we have to continue. If it happens, it actually happens. Let's talk about it. Don't fucking fake it, or just like continuously make them into like the fucking boogeyman. I just,
like you said earlier, it seriously detracts from the actual things that are happening, the real issues that are present. It's like, not hypothetical shit.
God, that like, sorry, it actually breaks my heart, because like, I don't know why. Sorry, you don't even have to agree with me on any of this
no,
shit.
It's good that you mentioned that.
But
like,
no, I'm talking about like, you don't have to agree with any of this weird political talk we just had. It's not like you have to.
Oh yeah, I'm taking a philosophy course. Sorry, I just
no,
cut you off, but I'm taking a philosophy course right now, and we just had like our most recent reading was on. I didn't do the reading,
nice.
But our class discussion was on open-mindedness, and I like to think of myself as an open-minded person generally. Though the class did make a lot of where the paper that we read was I was supposed to read, which we talked about in class, was centered around what it actually means to be open-minded, which generally centers around self-awareness and self-monitoring.
Yeah.
Which I do find myself to do. Like, I find myself to, like, if I'm in a situation, like, just as an example, like, in situations, like, where people are talking about political stuff, like, okay, just kind of being able to read the room, more or less, like, understanding that, okay, like, I know this is probably going to be very touchy, to say the least. So, I mean, it's probably in my best interest not to say anything. But then again, it's not like what I'm going to say is going to really jar, like, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not conveying my thoughts properly.
No, I get it.
It's more in like you talking back and forth with someone, or not even having an argument, just being open to listening, like taking the time to actually hear what they say rather than just immediately dismissing it. Not necessarily agreeing with it, just like at least having it go in one ear and out the other, and like just kind of taking a look at it.
And I think that's like what some people, like a lot of people lack. Maybe even I do. Like I won't even lie.
Like put the plugs in and try and speak louder.
That's the only reason why. Like God, the only reason why anyone actually would care about what I'm like. I don't care if a straight person says the exact same things about this community shit, or they didn't like the word queer. Like, I guess their point's just as valid. But like the only reason why anyone would actually care about me and take it seriously is just because I'm gay. Like it kind of actually does. I don't know. I guess in one way it's like I'm speaking as a person and a part of it, but like if someone made that point all the same, it's not like, and they're not part of the demographic. I don't think I can get on them for like, how dare you make a good point, like, or a point that I agree with. It's just, it's so like in my public speaking class we're supposed to be writing an impassioned speech, and my speech is on. This is why it's been fresh in my head. Is my speech is on the word community and ontological metaphors and stuff like that. And
nice.
And I was just like, yeah, like listen, like I just don't want to pontificate about being a homo, like I'm a gay person.
That was
and
a very big word.
Get on a stage.
Yeah.
I'm a gay person. Like here's all my opinions, and because I'm gay, like my opinion matters more than you. Blah blah blah.
Try and take that high ground.
Yes. Oh my God, I don't want to do that. But I think I'm kind of tired of it. I don't want to say being treated that way, but being spoken about. And I don't, and in general, honestly. But open-mindedness. We could go on for like 15 more minutes. It's like 9 o'clock.
Wow, it is 9 o'clock.
We can go like for 15 more minutes, and then we can wrap up.
That's fine.
I don't actually know what to talk about. This is definitely one of the weirdest recordings I've had. I'm not gonna lie, because my first recording. I don't know why I'm going to this. But my first recording, I'm very close friends with the first person who I never published. Joe, the only episode that is published. We weren't friends really, but I knew we were going to become friends, and now he and I are like, I wouldn't say best friends, but definitely like he's one of the few people I totally trust wholeheartely. And then
cool.
Amanda was like a serious interview. Like, oh my God, I'm so mad that I'm so mad. I had an interview. I guess I should explain it. I had an interview with up and comer in the paleontology field, and like it was actually like. Really? Extremely informative. She was talking about like doing digs, her like way through the industry, the academia.
That's cool as shit.
She's gone to like New Mexico and she like discovered something, not huge, but huge. Like it's huge.
A discovery's a discovery.
It's huge to us who don't care about who don't know anything about paleontology. But she was like, I mean, it's not like a big deal. It was like she found the first, if I remember correctly, she found the first example of mammalian life in the state of New Mexico, in a particular basin where fossils are found, in a particular area of that basin.
That's, okay.
It's still hella sick.
That's cool as shit, yeah. But I understand in the grand scheme of things and the whole kind of, the net of paleontology, it's like, okay.
Yeah, and this one was just us talking about, like, random things we both have in common, me just going on things. I'm glad you don't.
Tangential.
I'm glad. Oh God, sorry. I need it all off my chest though because.
Oh no, I'm glad you got it out. Dude, these just long talks in general are just very therapeutic. That's what I love about them.
Yeah, that's why I like people be like, I don't know why this is about dating, but like people will be like, you want to see a movie? I'm like, no. Why would I want to see a movie?
Oh, that's such a
you never
bad
get to see it.
Idea.
Like I don't want to see a movie with you until like. We're like dating, like we're boyfriends.
Unless we can go back and forth and comfortably make stupid jokes about it.
Or me actually analyze the film.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
what's a movie that?
Lady Bird.
Haven't seen that. Been meaning to see it for a long time. I've heard like
oh my God.
that shit will like
It's so base. It's not that. It's not honestly much of a crime. Well, the last scene gets me.
Like, just in general, I feel like whatever sort of emotional connections you can make in that movie are enough to be like, all right, I see that. I'm seeing that through my own lens, and woo.
I'm not gonna act like I'm a huge film buff or anything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Lady Bird is such basic, like, oh, I'm a film buff. It's like Arctic Monkeys. It's like, I'm a film buff. I watched Lady Bird. I actually had a date with a cheerleader. We were sitting on that bed. We didn't do anything. We were sitting on that bed and we watched Lady Bird, and I, like, literally started to tear up because it's,
Oh, I watched Love, Simon in the theater. That shit made me fucking cry.
I want to finish the thought about Lady Bird, and I'll get on that movie. Because I actually... Okay, Lady Bird, there's just the ending scene, it's all about, like, a weird relationship with your mother, and me and my mom have the almost exact same relationship in that, so I was, like, crying because there was just this really hard scene that I was like, oh my fucking god. I was like, imagine if I did what the main character did with her mother. I was like, I wonder how that would turn out. But Love, Simon, I guess I'm, like, not my sort of grand scheme of things. I guess I'm not the most traditional homosexual, but, like, that was a good fucking movie.
That was a really good, like, cheesy gay movie. It wasn't even really cheesy.
It wasn't. They were trying to go for, like, John Hughes, who did, like, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and shit. But they did enough where, I was, like, hooked. And then I started crying. I was like, oh, poor Simon got outed. Nick Offerman's really hot. That's the main character's actor. And then they had this one scene. One of the reasons why I knew I loved this fucking movie is, you want to talk about obscure musicians? Look in the background of any time he's in his room. It's all blurred, so you'll never actually see it.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person, I've searched it up on the internet. No one knows this. I might be the only person on earth who knows this. I'm going to actually show you a picture of it, because it's on my Spotify. I love New Zealand-y artists and London-based artists. They're fucking geniuses.
Interesting.
It's just pure coincidence.
Sorry, the audio might be a little weird. I'm constantly stretching because my back is perpetually stiff, and I've only just now taken steps to try and make it not stiff.
I'm sorry. But, okay, and I know it was this. I looked at it, I've watched this movie like 3 times, and I looked for it. It's this one scene, I don't remember which scene, but he's in his room, and the background, like, on his wall, it's like an album art cover, and it's very blurred, but I could definitely tell. It was this album cover. Her name is Lady Hawk. I've searched it up.
That was on your story. Wow.
Ages ago. I probably bitched about saying, like...
It was on your story. It was on your Instagram or Spotify story today or yesterday. Something about wild things.
2 days ago, it was the song Chills.
And, like, they really be dropping albums and then say...
No, Wild Party.
Wild
Party did that. Oh, Wild Party did that. But Chills was also on my Spotify, or my Snapchat story recently. But Lady Hawk, I've searched up Lady Hawk, Love, Simon on Google like 40 times. I'm like, someone else had to have seen that. No one has seen that. And she's not very big. I think she's had, like... She has 250,000 monthly listeners. That's still really good, but I'm like... I was like, this movie was... it's just like those weird things where it's like... I was supposed to see this movie. Because I was like, that's fucking Lady Hawk! Like, who the fuck listens to her except for me? Oh, sorry. That was a good movie.
That was a really good movie.
What else? Speaking of movies that I really liked, the guy who, you want to watch a gay movie that's, like, kind of heartbreaking, because I am very fickle with gay movies. I think most of them are shit. Most gay characters, they're kind of shit. Sorry, like, controversial.
No, I agree with that. Like, in a lot of things, gay characters are mostly just there for the sake of being gay, not for the sake of being a well-fleshed-out character.
They're there for the sake of having a check mark, and I'm going to be real with that. And that's very controversial, but, like, literally, I think TV treats pretty much any minority, and, like, and people eat the shit up, so they'll say this shit, but they'll eat it up. They're just checklists. Like, at the end of the day, the character is there just so their TV show looks better. But
unfortunately.
But a movie that is, I think the guy, you haven't seen Lady Bird, but the love interest at the beginning of the movie is played by Lucas Hedges, I believe, who went to UNCSA. And fun fact, which is right by where we are, and closer to you, Winston-Salem. And he plays this gay dude or whatever who is in... I had this also movie really hit me. I've never been through it, but like Boy Erased. Did you hear about the movie?
What movie?
Boy Erased. Okay, it's basically about, like, I think it takes place in the 1980s and about this kid who gets thrown in conversion therapy, and it's like really heartbreaking.
Oh, wow.
It's really heartbreaking, and like I had to when I was very little, not very little, I was like 14, I had nightmares of being sent to like there. My parents would never do it, now thinking about it, but like...
I personally can't think of any sort of modern scenario in which that happens.
It still happens. It's not very
Well,
common.
I haven't seen the movie. Like, I only have this picture in my head of what it is. I know technical, actual knowledge.
If there's one thing besides
I'm just an idiot talking.
Conversion therapy is like, it's not very common, but it still happens. And I guess that's like the one thing besides like, I guess, equality to all, like that I'll actually care about politically is like, I really think we should get rid of that. It's not illegal for minors to be sent forcefully to conversion therapies. And worse more, I saw this. Why did I watch this documentary when I was 15? This is a documentary about kids who get basically like permissively kidnapped and sent to other countries for like Jesus camp. And a lot of times it's like gay kids, but it's any child they deem rebellious. And they're like some sketchy places in Barbados. And like I wish I had the documentary. Broke my heart. Like I don't cry very often. If a movie actually gets me to like sob, like Lady Bird doesn't get me to sob, I just get teary-eyed. I was like, it made me sick. It was like basically legal torture, and I was like, this is not okay. And so I always had a fear of being. They literally, by the way, how they do it is they get the kids, they'd be like sleeping literally, and their parents would let these people into their house and basically kidnap them and then take them away, and they had no idea what was going on, and then they wouldn't see their parents for like 2 years. Sometimes, like I think one of the kids had been there for 4 years. I don't understand how it works honestly, but it doesn't sound legal. But it is.
It's like that sounds fucking terrifying.
So that's why that movie also hit me, because a little bit, not as much as Lady Bird, but it was just like I had such a big fear of being sent. Because honestly, living in the South or having Catholic parents like I did, he had Baptist parents, but there was a real story. It wasn't obviously a documentary, but it was a real story. Unfortunately that's another thing that like some gay dudes have to deal with. Like they have to deal with even the idea of it being converted, and obviously it doesn't work. So if you've seen that movie, I would watch that movie. If you have straight men, maybe bisexual men who are into dudes, or into women, you want to get a girl to like you, watch a gay movie that's good, because you'll still like it. This is so mean. This is so like fucking. I know
what you get.
But you're with your girl and you're like,
yeah.
Hey baby, you want to watch this movie about some gay dude? She's like, oh my god, I'd love to. But it's a good movie, so you'll enjoy it. It's sad, but Boy Erased is it. Love Simon to a lesser extent, I think, but I tried to get, when I was trying to get my roommate to know my roommate, because he lived in the city next to me, coincidentally, and I was like, do you want to be my roommate? And he's like, no. Do you want to be outside with me? And I'm like, okay. And I watched it by myself in the movie theater, except for this one dude who looked like Weird Al Yankovic. Kind of. Actually, he looked like, do you remember Drake and Josh?
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you remember, I think his name was Gabe? He had long black hair, and he'd just be like, I'll clean that up.
Tall, really tall.
That's Crazy Steve.
No, I remember him being really tall. I just remember another long-haired dude.
He always had like a monotone voice, and he worked at the movie theater.
Yeah.
He looked exactly like him. And he was very clearly a gay dude too. I'm like, damn it. Why do I was like, damn, like I'm like not like, oh damn, it's just like, man, like we're the only two in this fucking theater. Like, are you for real? I mean, I do live in we're relatively accepting. Like, high school was not the worst, but I've really talked about so much gay shit. I'm so sorry.
Literally, I have no gripes. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. For whatever reason, I panicked like when I thought about this, and I don't know why, because I just haven't really been like open, I guess, to the most extent about this. I'm actually bi.
Really?
Yeah. I actually in the last.
In
the last 2 weekends, I've come out to my acapella group and some random dude who I met from somebody who messaged me. He was like, "Hey, I know you're straight, but you're kind of cute." I was like, "Thank you, but on the contrary." I didn't know how I felt about like doing it on the podcast, but I don't understand why.
At the beginning of the episode, I said like, "Oh, as a straight dude," and then I was about to say, you cut me off, which is fine. I was about to say, "Well, I don't know. Like, it's not my business." That's so cute. I don't mean it like that. But
no. You're totally fine.
Wow. How?
It was.
Do you I mean, I know it's been. No. Do you mind telling me? I'm actually genuinely interested.
It was.
It's not like I wasn't genuinely interested before.
Ryan, I think it was senior. It was definitely senior year, I want to say.
Wow.
Because I was still working at Panera Bread. Fucking.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories.
Don't work at Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Eat there. Don't work there.
Wow.
And let's see, I just in my last 2 years of high school, I'm like a lot more of the people in my friend group. The last 2 years of my high school were a very, very transformative time period. I was going through a lot of different changes in my family life, and I kind of had almost an emotional explosion, not a bad explosion, an emotional kind of awakening where kind of a dam just was any inhibitions. I had gone from a very numb, unfeeling state of being to literally feeling almost every emotion that I could think of in the spectrum.
Fun.
Like, in about a year's time, which was fucking insane. But in that time, I had also, a lot of the really close friends that I had were either gay or bi.
That happens.
And it's fucking goofy as shit.
It's not, no.
I just remember being at Panera and, like, this is where I first started having, like, serious questions. I remember I was at Panera, I think I was, like, sweeping in the front area, and I remember this dude walked in.
Oh.
I didn't even look at his face, he had a very, very large ass.
Oh, dude. Oh, my God. There was this, I'm not going to say where I worked. No, don't laugh.
Every time I think about it, it's goofy, but seriously, for the next 2 days, I was like, shit, man. What's going on there? What is going on?
Just imagine, like, a 13-year-old did the same thing. It's literally, oh my God, and I was just like...
But at that point, I was already, like, I think it kind of coincided with me not really having any, like, really not holding
Emotional.
any sort of romantic opinions. Like, is this even possible? Because I guess I kind of just play the part of being straight pretty well. I don't, like, really give off too many gay vibes.
On some days,
I feel like...
I wish I weren't so gay. Like, I'm definitely, like, on, if 1 to 10, 1 masculine, feminine is 10, I'm, like, a 7. Like, let's not kid ourselves. But, like, on other days, I guess it's kind of, I never have to feel like if someone's gonna be a dick to me being gay, they'll do it out front. Like, I'll never have to worry about someone not wanting to be my friend because...
Yeah.
They'll know. But, so, this was senior year. I'm so interested. I did not mean for this to go so long, but I'm so fucking interested.
I just, like, I could have mentioned this earlier, but for whatever reason, I just had some inhibition.
Alright.
I think it might have just been the fact that I was being recorded, and I was just more conscious of what I've been saying the whole time.
I didn't mean to make...
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
Let's see. And then I think it was actually on the drive back from, like, a tour that I had at the Geological and Environmental Science Department.
Wow, so that's
it was a pretty significant time skip. At that point,
Wow.
I wasn't even working at Panera anymore, but I was driving back, and I was like just those thoughts kept on repeating in my head. And I was, like, texting my friend Noah, who is gay, and I was like, hey, I think I might be bi. And, like, we just kind of went through, like, the whole conversation, because I've known Noah was gay pretty much since I met him, just because of how he is, but he never...
I think you mentioned him.
He never really came out until, I think it was senior year.
Wow.
Senior year. And it was just like yeah, we know. Like, but it's the whole mode, like, actually saying it, like, you saying it makes it real.
Was he the first person you told?
Yeah, he was, like, my main thing is, I actually haven't come out to my sister or my mom yet.
I was gonna ask, how is your family?
That's the thing.
Are they...
No, yeah, I'm sure they...
Would care.
Yeah, it's just, for whatever reason, I don't know why I want to wait to have, like, a time or place to do it. What?
Oh, you could definitely have some terrible times.
Oh, no, I can imagine you could pick some bad times.
I knew my mom knew.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that she knew that I knew. And this is my senior year, October, I think. I was very high on wisdom tooth medicine.
Oh,
I will not. Goodness. I have a stand-up routine about this. It's so good. It's all true. Swear to God,
that's a great fucking stand-up routine idea.
And it was very bad. She was fine with it, but, like, okay, this is. I do not mean to put my mom on blast, but, like, this is how you know my mom was like, she was not prepared to have a gay son. Mm-hmm. Even still, even that she knew for, like, 4 years by then. She, like, told me the first time she ever talked about it after that was, she said, would you be, and whenever someone begins a question like this, the answer is almost always no, but they're like, would you be offended by it? And instantly I was like, no, because, like, I just don't really give a shit. But she's like, would you be offended by me not coming to your ceremony? And I said no, because I didn't know what she meant. And a week later I realized she's like, I'm not showing up to your wedding. I was like, fuck! I just told her that's okay. Like, and my sister, she was the last person well, my younger brother doesn't know, but he knows. My sister was like, she was like, I knew you were gay when you were, like, born. I was like, thanks, sis. So I'm sure they won't care, especially if you honestly, I highly doubt, like, I don't know, and I'm not giving you advice, but like if you have to like consider, if you don't think your parents will, if you don't know your parents will react negatively.
My mom's best friend. I mean, and honestly, I feel like I have like a better out because like I don't have like. I know I'm bi. I know, like, I have, like, the option, and I feel like that is gonna make it, like...
Less of a weird thing.
Yeah. Even though I don't even think my mom is gonna think it's that weird, because literally, her best friend from college, her cheerleading partner, who...
He's a lesbian? Or bisexual?
No, he's gay. He's gay.
Oh, shit!
No, he's fucking Kevin. I love him. He's basically a part of our family.
See, yeah.
And so I don't think she would fucking care.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But that's... Sorry.
No.
So you're on the road with you told Noah, your friend.
Yeah, I've told but most of my friends know.
Wow.
Like I came out pretty quickly, like to my friend group, like here coming to college, because even though I like knew some people from it and had a couple people come.
When was this? The beginning of the semester?
Oh, it was the beginning of first semester.
Wow.
We were drunk because I was talking about like doing things. And
you're like, you one time I did it with a dude or some shit.
Well, like, yeah, it was, like, along those lines, and they were just like, wait, and I was like, oh, I forgot to mention, because I was already, like, a little tipsy at that point, yeah. I wasn't, like, plastered or anything, so, like, I was already in a fairly okay state of mind.
Uh-huh.
I forget where I was going with this, I lost my train of thought.
You were telling them that you were basically...
just, like, mentioning it, and they're just like, oh, okay, cool. Which is awesome.
Most people don't care, luckily.
Yeah, most people are just like, cool. Like, if you really take the time and energy to, like, dislike somebody, or just... If you're actively, like, against somebody just because of
one thing that doesn't affect you.
It's just like, man... You could fucking use your energy for other stuff.
It's like, I think of people so highly. Like, why would you stoop to such a low level?
Yeah. Come on, man. I've got higher expectations.
For real, though! I'm sorry, I just genuinely...
No, yeah.
That's such a, like... I know you probably don't even think much of it, but, like, that's just genuinely an interesting thing to me. Because I've never... I mean, I never really... I was pulled out of the closet before I knew I was gay. Like, it wasn't a big deal. It kind of is a big deal now, but, like, all my friends were like, you're definitely gay. And I'm like, am I? And then you're like, yes. And then I was like, okay. So, but it's genuinely... And Oh, I'm totally keeping that in that one. Fuck that. No, hell no. These people have been, I don't know if that picked up on the microphone, but these people have been, like, interrupting this episode all day. So, like...
Some goofy, fucking stupid shit.
When people... You didn't wait, obviously. You didn't realize until, like, last year. But
yeah,
it's genuinely fascinating when I hear people later on in life hear about it.
Yeah, like, actually having that click. And I think a lot of it was the fact that at that point I was actually really interacting and, like, getting to understand or just know, not not understand, just like knowing other gay people and having like that extra lens, like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm definitely, obviously, even how I spoke about it, like, I guess I need to check myself, but like, I obviously have like a very particular view of like just how like a lot of gay people are, and a lot of it's true, but like, college is such like a good experience of just like, some people won't let it happen, but it humbles you. A lot of the gay dudes here are very obnoxious. I'm gonna be real with them. They're very, very obnoxious. But, like, you find, I mean, I guess...
I can shout out some people, but I'm not gonna...
No.
Funny.
No, I can't think of an example, but you find, as I mentioned before, like, you find just, like, gay Republicans. Like, they just exist. They're just people. And you just find people that don't, I guess, even I accidentally stereotype. So, I do need to humble myself on that. So, I appreciate you telling me. Also, I very appreciate it, because, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, that's a big deal, that you did that. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but, like...
I mean, no, yeah. Like,
you haven't... who was gonna listen to this? Maybe no one.
Yeah.
But you're putting that out there. That's a very big deal.
Like, I think that was maybe, like, my first thing, like, oh, I'm being recorded. Like, since for whatever reason, I've just been apprehensive. Like, I don't actively... Like, I won't just say it. Like, I'll... Like, the reason it came up to my acapella group was, like, we were sitting in a car, and my friend Alora, who is a member of Foxy Moron, the local band.
I know the lead singer.
Last night, fucking with their band, they went to go see Anderson .Paak in the Free Nationals in Charlotte, and it was so fucking cool.
I know Lucas, he runs the open mic there. Do you know any other band members? a Foxymoron?
Alora's just in harmonics.
So you don't... Do you know Lucas?
If I saw his face, I'd probably recognize him.
Really tall.
I know a lot of faces. A lot of faces.
Hella tall. He's like 6'5".
I went to a house show, but I was...
A little not there.
Yeah, a little not there.
Anyways, you told Alora what?
Oh, we were driving. This was our weekend going to Chapel Hill. We were driving somewhere, and we were like talking about like sleeping arrangements. And she like points to me and my other buddy, and she's like, "You guys are like the only two straight guys here." And I was like,
and she's like,
and I was like, huh? And, yeah. Which was cool. Like most of the people in that group are just like chilling.
Well, okay. I am. This is so. I'm like genuinely like honored. I know that sounds so stupid, but like I'm genuinely honored by that because like, I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm putting way too much on this. You probably don't think about this, and I'm doing exactly what I hate when people put so much into it. But like, I don't know. It's still kind of. I don't know. I'm just so. This is why I do this sort of thing because I love hearing just things that people. It's just a big deal. You don't get to know someone until you. Speak with them for two hours.
You literally just sit down. Like I've had some of the most like beneficial or just therapeutic. I keep using that word because I truly believe
it's a good word.
It's fucking therapy. Therapy is the best thing ever.
My favorite thing was that guy who I watched Lady Bird with on that bed. We first met. It was my birthday weekend. And I'm saying this for a reason. Have you heard about my birthday weekend?
I just remember you mentioning it in class.
We will hang out again. I would like to hang out again because we never hang out.
Word.
I will tell you about that birthday weekend. But at the end of it, I had my first date. Pretty much ever. I'd been on one date before, it didn't really work out. And I'd talked to guys before, but I'd never been on a date. He was cute. I think we hugged on the first date and we made out like the second one or something. But the reason why I got him went past one date is so obviously I love hearing things that you never hear about. There's this thing called the 36 questions. They call it the 36 questions to make strangers fall in love. That's bullshit. Yeah. But it establishes a connection between people. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not. Glad I have now.
Genuinely, it's actually a fun first date thing too. He was like, this was like very telling of who you are as a person. You just like to hear people. And it's just like it asks some very personal things. I wouldn't do it if you don't like. You might want to look at the questions. I didn't show him them because I told him it was a very big surprise, and he was comfortable with it.
Thankfully.
Yeah, like that's why it's like so it's a big. Why I bring that up is just like it's kind of a weird thing where it's just like I'm very honored. It's even because that was like he knew what he was doing. Like I'm honored that you. This is so stupid. I gotta get over myself. But
No.
I'm honored.
I totally get it.
And like you're a great person. So like,
thank you.
No, I told you at the beginning of the episode. I was like the reason why I picked up on Alex was, A, he was kind of cute, but B, I'm not kidding. But shut up, don't. I'm blushing now. I was like, he's a good looking dude. I'm keeping this. Fuck it. They've been pissing me off all day.
Did we not? Did you?
No.
I
literally told them I'm recording.
I was like, and
this is so unprofessional, but I don't care. I don't think we've been talking through it.
It's fine. Is college really that professional a place, anyways?
No, but I used to use the recording room in the library, but they only let me use it for like an hour. So and we've been talking.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Oh, and he's kind of cute. And B, I was like, I have never met someone with this much like chill charisma.
I think the only reason I was like that open was probably because I had Skylar there. Like I had an anchor of familiarity, and I was like, okay. I have like a point of reference. I'm not completely out of the water.
This girl, Skylar, who went to his high school, was in that class as well. Who, by the way, I owe a lot to. I don't know if she knows this. She was in a radio class.
Yeah, you told me that she does radio stuff now.
Yeah. If I hadn't, I mentioned this to you actually, but I'm gonna say it to them, I guess. Them.
Audience.
I genuinely like would not be on the track to radio if she hadn't offhandedly mentioned she was in that class because like. That like I was like wow holy like again talking about like conversations point A to point B to point C you think back on where you are in your life.
I love that shit.
It's so oh my god it's like crack. Like that one little instance like I want to say saved my life is not the right word but like definitely changed my life.
Yeah, it determined a lot of things that happened next.
Yeah, Chandler. I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't mind sharing almost anything about my life. So like Chandler, my friend down the hall who we we actually talked about it on her episode, even if I never will publish it. We were basically like destined to meet. It's kind of creepy. She was the person who took me to therapy. Like, I wasn't like suicidal or some shit, but like,
yeah, no.
I've been wanting to go to therapy since I was 15.
I
never
fucking love therapy.
It's good.
The best.
Oh my god, it's so good. And so I credit like everything to her. Like, that's definitely changed my life. We are tied at the fucking hip though. Oh my god, we like could never get into a fight that would make us not want to be friends anymore. We've been to way too much.
I've never been in a fight with anyone on that magnitude. I can't imagine.
I used to be very, very political on every single corner you could think of, and one of the reasons why I don't like politics is because a friend group completely decimated. And so I was like, yeah, I was on the track to not liking politics anymore. Okay, I am gonna be annoying because you're gonna get a lot of like, can we hang outs?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm genuinely like, this is kind of like the fucking questions we're not falling in love. But like those questions where it's just like, we obviously realized we weren't right for each other after like 3 days or something, but it's just like, I can't just stop here.
Yeah,
And do you
and it's a different thing because we don't see each other every day. Like,
and we live in the same hall.
Exactly. We like fucking like some of the people that like my roommate. I see him every single day.
I see my roommate too much.
My roommate. Well, yeah. Since my roommate's like in my friend group, and I don't think I've like gone into as much stuff as I've gone with, like through with him with you in this span of time.
I think I'm very blessed or whatever that I think that's one of my gifts. I just will talk someone's ear off until they talk back to me. That's how I view it, but I know people like it opened up. And I want to start asking this at the end of every episode because I think this is the natural end of it. Because no one ever... Do you think you're an interesting person?
I mean, it can depend on like what
I'm gonna ask you this again and I want you to say I'm gonna ask you this again and I want you to say blankly. Do you think you're an interesting person?
Yes.
Good. Because I don't get why people say I'm not interesting. It's so stupid. Everyone...
If you take the time or if you have the time to figure out why people do certain things or what makes them certain ways, like, that's fucking cool.
It breaks my heart. Joe, he told me, he was like, I'm not, at the beginning of the episode, I remember, he was like, I don't understand why I'm here. I don't really consider myself an interesting person. I'm like, I mean, I do believe most of everyone's interesting if I got to know them, but I was like, Joe, if I didn't think you were interesting, I wouldn't have brought you here. Like, same thing. Like, I was like, I literally knew 3 things about Alex. He likes to do substances. He's on the bus ride back.
I usually don't, like, keep track of that sort of thing.
But, I remember everything. I remember everything about people. I can't remember anything else, but about people, I'll remember everything. It's kind of weird.
I usually just remember, like, weird, not really necessary shit.
But it was, substances. Mm-hmm. He has a very, just, nice personality, like, and, that he was an acapella. That was all I knew about you. And you're from Greensboro, and you're Skyler, but, like...
I like Greensboro.
But, like... So I'm, like, happy. I'm genuinely so... I don't want this to end.
No, this was really fun. I want to get food at some point.
I haven't eaten either.
I've only eaten breakfast, and I just ate, like, leftovers.
I have not eaten. I ate, like, a granola bar, so I have to go get food. I wanted to, sorry. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to say goodbye. I just, like, because I'm afraid, like, if we say, I'm not going to talk to you again.
Yeah, because, like, do we want to pick this up some other time?
Just, like, one day, just, like, can I come in your room and just fucking talk?
Yeah.
God, we're losers. Oh, my God.
Half the time, there'll, like, be people, like, it's changed a little bit, because literally, the entirety of first semester, every single night, people came over and hung out.
Are you living on campus next year?
Yes, I'm living in App Heights.
Lucky fucking you, I'm in Hui. Wait, do you know...
I'm in a suite with, 3 of the friends.
Okay, I was like, you know them all. Because
yeah.
This guy who... I will talk about this later. I will mention this. The end of the podcast is here. I will edit this. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I'm obviously enjoyed it.
Alright, I had a wonderful time. Thank you for bringing me on, Peter. To our audience members...
Stop!
At future Alex and or Peter. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, bro?
See you later, dudes.